Okay, we shall try to adjust this a little bit more. There we go. I'll turn the camera in a second. Got all kinds of craziness here. There we go. All right. So we wait. I'll wait for some people to come on, and then we'll start. Okay. So we have a beautiful eagle that we're going to paint. I don't like that light hitting it. Okay. Let's put the smaller eagle over here. There we go. That way you can still see it. And we got the real big eye over here. Help me find my colors. Okay, so this is going to be a 5x7, and it's being painted on the Blair synthetic paper, which is sitting right here. And also we'll be using Createx illustration colors. For anybody out there that wants to know what kind of paint I'm using, it's the transparent Createx, but colors and stuff that I make become buffered with the white, and that just means they become opaque, and you can zoom in on very exact matches. So we take this one, for example. Let's try this right there. That's the darker orange. Whoops. For the beak there. All right. So, okay. Hey, Brian, how you doing? Glad you can make it. I'll let a couple more people get on here, and then we'll go from there. Usually it piles up in the beginning with about, we've had some 10, 11 people. There's 9 all of a sudden. Just like that. So I've had my Micron sent out and repaired, cleaned, really just, cleaned, and it was really from the 90s and stuff. It was, I'll be honest with you, I didn't really take care of it too good in the early days. And you start using a lot of these opaque paints, and you don't know what you're doing. Back then, running a sign business, trying to learn the airbrush world, and etc. The finesse of the Micron is very finicky, and you got to really go after, especially when you're using a lot of opaque paints. So, Mr. Emre, is it Emre or Emre? Emre. I'm not sure. Emre. I'm going to say that. You correct me by spelling it phonetically. So, I had a nice little delivery also today. Not today, a couple days ago. So I sent my airbrush back to get it fixed. I've got the action on here, like I have. I just can't believe how it's behaving. It's unbelievable. I still might get a new nozzle and a new needle, because you can only sharpen the needles so many times, and then you need to replace it. Sharpen air, they're great. So anyway, we got here El Guy Paints. How you doing? Beautiful work. Thanks for jumping on. I love your work. Let's see. Yeah, so I have my little delivery. This is a new tape that Drew's been selling, Drew Blair. And it is, I'm just going to peel a piece off. It reminds me a little bit of the gold tape. It's very low tack. So like if you put, this is, well, let's just take a piece of paper like here. Okay, we've just got a little piece of paper like that. And you could burnish it on there like crazy and it won't ruin the paper. Yet it can, you can do a stencil with, I've got to find out more of its purpose and what, but I've cut, you know, little shapes and stencils. You got to be careful cutting out on the synthetic paper. So I have the paper stencil, and we're going to get busy doing that with, I'm going to dust in a little background just to indicate where he's going to be. He has some cutouts like this is cut out. I got to move something here. Just give me a second. I'll go to the other side of this. I have a cell phone holder, and I just don't like how it's behaving here. There we go. Okay. Kind of funky, but all right. So yeah, so we got the purple tape that came, and it's very, it just doesn't nothing. Doesn't stick to nothing, doesn't rip nothing. It sticks to stuff, but it's low tack. So it reminds me of the gold tape, but it's, I don't think it was a see-through, but I like the behavior of it when you go to tear it and stuff. Hello there, JC. Grumpy RC Flyer. Hello. Poco Calais Customs. Wow. All these guys. How you guys doing? Doing good here. Let's see. So, welcome to the beginning of this painting, and we'll get busy on it right away. So, obviously, this is from a photocopy, and he's drawn lightly on there, and you can erase some of those lines with the kneaded eraser. I also I have a really nice dowel that can be used on this synthetic paper. So like when you get into areas, let me get, my littler painting isn't going to show this much detail, but when you get into areas like this right here, I mean, this thing can scratch in fur. You know, you would look at that back in there. I got to let it focus. So those numbers and stuff are where my paints are. That's my little system that I use. Oh yeah, my airbrush is running like a charm. Like I said, I might order a nozzle later if it needs to be like pushed to 100%, and the needle. I hope I don't need a head assembly, but I think I can get away with the nozzle and needle later. But right now it's behaving really great. So I'm going to dust in a little bit of the green, just a little bit, and it will be the lighter version. The background's going to be a little bit more two-tone than you can see in this photo here, because it looks all kind of even. But in reality, on the internet, I got that from Unsplash. When you look at it, you'll see that it has more lights and darks, and it's it's out of focus. It's an out of focus background. So this is crazy good. I love my Micron. I'm just testing a little color on the side. I wasn't using the Micron to mix. I was using the Micron to let me just test a couple things here. Just sit there and wait for it to be used here. There we go. Wow, it's so sensitive. I'm not used to that. It's like when it was new, but it's even more sensitive because of the wonderful. Let me put the bigger one down here. Maybe you can see it. I don't know. I don't want it shining. No, I have a color correct light, and we can always move into the range of the center of this thing by just sliding that over a little more. Now we're good there. I don't want to spray on the photograph either though. White tape just doesn't, I don't want all kinds of color, so that's why I'm using the white tape. Okay, so there's a good setup. So here we go. We're just going to take, so we got the cutout that I did on the art tool cutting mat. And it's just to give, now I got to remember not to spray the green down here. It's just to give me a little dusting of background to kind of pull the picture, because I want to work, even though they're showing a very sharp edge there, I want to work it where the feather meets. It's more with fur when you run into a fur situation. You don't want it sharp, like this is really pretty sharp. That's okay. See? That pencil line can be erased right off, but now this is lined up to be just my drawing is right there, right? Okay, so I keep hitting the phone. Hey Gary, how you doing? Sounds like a kid in a candy store, Bill. Yeah, I was. And this is the big one that I got. This is, if you go on Drew's site, his website, so let's put something dark behind this so you can kind of see some texture here. Come on. Okay, so you can kind of see that. The Tiger kit, which I didn't purchase the Tiger kit. This is, I asked Drew, I said, what's the shield that, because when you do like a snout on an animal, like a dog or the tiger or whatever, there's real short fur. There's real nappy. And that is the texture to save you time. And you still have a lot of work you got to do with it. There's some fine hairs and stuff. And then you got all the curvy shapes around it. So I really, I added one that I really wanted to my collection of wonderful stencils, and that's a wonderful thing because I can do things with it faster. Okay, so we have, let's see, how am I going to treat this now, because this wants to move around. The first thing I'm going to do is take this off. There's the purple tape, very light tack. If that's on paper, it won't hurt anything. So I want to knock back some of the drawing. Actually, I should have done that beforehand, but you can see the process this way of how I'm working with it. Like if you get a classroom in a box from Drew, you're going to have the image, I think, you're going to have stencils that are laser cut for the whole thing, whether it's a tiger or the skull and fire, whatever. They have, he makes positive and negative stencils for the whole gamut, the whole thing. So I was even using my Eclipse, what do you call it? It is a HPBS. So that's Bill Sneggin. Okay, so that doesn't have the soft spring in it. I wouldn't mind having it in that either. But anyway, that was good for when my Micron was gone. I had my HP Plus, and I had that. You fire up something to work, right? But when I got the Micron back, I was like blown away. I was like, this is really, if you don't have a soft spring and you don't have your gun operating correctly, which I didn't. So this is my paper. I ordered like, I think I got 9 left because of this one. And he really nicely protects everything packaged. So that's 5x7 synthetic paper. And I got the blue tape. I got the dowel here, and I got a big half a sheet over there. So it's something I could cut to size. So it could do a painting this size, which is 8 by, I think it's a 9 by 7 by 8. I'm not sure exactly. Got it from Walgreens. 8. I don't remember. I got to see what that is because that's a Walgreens special there. Oh, 8 by 10. Okay, so nice to work on the 8 by 10s. I'll tell you, it's a lot easier, but Yeah. Okay. So let me just get my wonderful kneaded eraser, which is hiding on me right at the moment. And that's the kind of stuff that drives me crazy. Okay, it's going to be hiding on me for till the end of the class, and then I'll find it later. Let me open one of my drawers here and see if I threw it in there. I have a new one I could get out. That's right. So you go to your inventory. Forgot about this. I don't know if it's the Prismacolor or the Faber-Castell that is the better kneaded eraser. Some of them get too like soft clay, and they just are ridiculous. They don't work right. But the kneaded eraser is really great with drawing, drawing tools like charcoals and graphite and stuff like that, because you can remove the subtlest, amount of graphite. Wow, what's this, double wrapped? Oh my gosh. They're really protecting it, huh? Oh, this might be one of the crummy ones. So that would be the Prismacolor. Yeah, see how it's getting all gummy, and it'll do the job for me now, but I had to buy both because I wanted to see which was the crummy one, and I forgot because you can't tell when it's in the packaging. This is too. It should be harder. It should, in my opinion, it should be harder. So you can just knock back the drawing. I should have done that right there on the edge. It is going to be very dark on the edge with the greenery and all that stuff, but I just did what I did. So I'm just cleaning it up. That I don't want to lose that too much, but the yellow beak, I do want to knock it back to almost a ghost in the eyes and stuff there. So it's just a self-cleaning eraser. Yep, this is the crummy one. Don't buy the Faber-Castell. See, it's not supposed to do that. It's too, so I mean, it might have its purpose that I don't know about, but I've been using them when I had my art school, and we needed them to clean up, really good, and it's not doing that. Okay, but it did get a lot of the dirt off and stuff, so we'll just put Mr. Eaglehead back on here, and that's not going to be really sticky enough now. That is great. Actually, I'm going to use that, but a new piece. So it's called Deltec. It's on Drew's website. It's at his store, and it's just very, like, you could make a stencil out of that. It's very thin, and the low-tack tape. That's where my phone is there. So I'll use that. Get the thing off easier. So I'll put a piece here because I'm not using the metal and the magnets at this time. That'll be next, but getting the air, I had to pick, what do I want to do? Do I want to refurbish my airbrush? Do I want to get a new airbrush when I still have the Micron? It's like, they're a lot of money, and, sent it out to get a lot of savings. The repair, I think, cleaning it, fixing a few things, putting some new seals in and that kind of stuff. Trigger was stuck, different things like that. But I was like, got a really fair deal and well under 100, and I'm pretty good to go there. So that goes like that, and I have this to work with right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up. I'm probably going to cut out, I'm going to bend this back, but he's still not lined up exactly there. So at least there's no cuts now in the, that's got to turn just a little more. So the tape is fighting me a little bit, but there we go. That should do it. It's right on line. And if it's not, so I could take this out. I'm not touching the, the surface there of, I'm not touching the paper. I just want to make sure that baby is lined up exactly where it needs to be. And that should do it right there. And if it's off, it'll be off completely. I was better off with just one piece of tape, in all honesty. I'll just do that. It's fighting me too much. All right, so you got the hand shield. And we're going to just put that up on. I'm going to find that one little guy right there. And then just move this over a smidge. Yeah, if you notice the phone kind of, my arm is on both sides of the phone. So give me a second and I'll line this up. Okay, that's pretty much, I see the line going out a smidge more. I'm trying to get that part to be dead on. That's dead on there. Okay, so what I'm doing, I'm going to work from light to dark. The lightest color on the beak will be first. There's the blue tape. It won't rip up my stencil. So it is good for that. I don't know what this is doing here. What that is. That drawing might be off a little there. That doesn't matter though. But that's what's important right there. And then the eyes are right on. Okay. I didn't cut out the eyes because I'm going to use a circle template for the one that's facing me. And this one, I do have oval templates, but I didn't even get to that part yet. So, let's make sure that's clean there. Looking at this line here. All right. All right, so we have the darkest one. Let's just point to this. Okay, so we have, bring it closer. That darkest color there. We'll use the bigger one. Sorry, guys. I want you to be able to see it the best that you can. Okay, so the darkest one is right in here, that orange. Okay, then you have a little bit of it on the outside where the beak turns and goes to the other side. Then you have, of course, the lightest yellows. So I'm going to spray the lightest yellows in. I think there's 4. There's 5. If you want to count the tinting on the yellow down at the bottom, there's 5 yellows. 5 different, they're different values, but they're a little different in brightness. So the hue is, the saturation is different on them, the brightness of it and stuff. Okay, so this I didn't even make the color for. That'll be a little racing and tinting and things like that, I guess. So I'm going to go for, where's my lightest yellow? I think it's right there. All right, so let me just, yeah, it is. It's up in this area. Okay, so let's just get that out. Get some in the airbrush. When you put the yellow in, the lightest one, you really can't go wrong because it's going to be covered by the next yellow. A little darker, until we get, except I didn't clean the airbrush out. So I have green in it. Feels like a brand new airbrush, I tell you. Yes, I did. Kid in the candy store. You know, when a shipment comes and you get new paints or something like that, it's makes you happy, you know. It's because it's like a Christmas thing. The box came and it's like, oh, cool, it arrived. Okay, so let's go right next to the eye here. We're gonna just dust in. Like I said, I can put it in more so than erase it out, or I can fire it in 100%. 100% would be, this is paper here, so let's just go up here. That's not 100% yet, meaning saturation. That color, the latest color, whoops, that's a little flooded, is that dark. It's kind of weird, but it doesn't seem that way. It seems like it's lighter, but I tested it, so it's not. And it's opaque, so a little bit of pencil lines that are in there where the whites are, they will be buried. So I see some erasing and picking out there. I'm just going to dust a little on there right now and pick out some highlights because the window of time that you have. Now, if you're picking out lines, like I don't have to get the X-Acto knife out. I can come up in here and I can kind of find this line and just, it's like you're snow shoveling. I can't do that with the X-Acto knife. I mean, that is just perfectly the shape. Let me zoom in a little bit for you guys. Whoops. Let's try. We'll try that. I'm not good with the zoom, sorry. So, how you doing, Stuart? Okay, so we've got some highlights that are pretty white, and they seem like they're going to stay that way. So this is just, this little guy goes down like that. And then there's a little noise in here. You can do it later too, because they're going to probably get a little overspray on them. And then up in here, there's a little bit of so this one really is lower. I put that up too high. So here's a good example of opaque. I'm going to cover that again. I'm going to bury that ripped out highlight, right? I'm going to take it down, a little air dry it, get rid of it because I put it in the wrong spot. And if you do have a problem and you lose your highlight, you can make highlight colors with the airbrush, with mixtures. So I see a little baby, let me get my smaller shield. And we've got a little guy right there. Okay, so we'll peek at where our results in a little while, but right now we're just trying to find. So believe it or not, this yellow is different than the other yellows. It's the bigger picture really shows it, but it's really that way. And then there, let's cover that again a little more. So that wrong spot is now correct. We can kind of just come on the edge there a little bit. Okay. Opaque colors too have a very, like when the beak is done, it will look very much like a really nice looking beak because it's not going to be transparent and cartoonish. So that's important. Okay. Important as can be. So let's get, we're going to dust in some colors. The line is going to be in there. So I'm going to, I did a lousy cut there, guys. Right there. Just a little tear in the paper and it's different, you know. Let me see what this is looking like. Okay. So even this little bit here, I could probably shift it because it's not hitting. That's a bad cut. So what I could do, when I say bad cut, it's a smidgen, just a little smidgen. So very carefully, I could slide. I'm not too sure if this will fit. Let's see. Yeah, it will fit. Okay, I need a cutting mat under there, right? So I'm going to try to do that to just get that one little burr off there. Where is it? It's there. It's right there. So put this up there. Take out the X-Acto knife and just take a little. I see the hook on it right there. I'll just take a little bit off that right. I got to find the spot right there. Okay. Whoops. There, we're getting a peek at it, guys. That's what it looks like. But anyway, that's a small art tool mat, cutting mat. Okay, so now that has a smoothness to it that it needs. It's much easier to line up. There we go. Okay, I'll just pull this over a little bit like that. Yeah, but this cannot damage nothing. This tape is like great. So I'm using it for the first time and I'm seeing the value of it. Okay, so the nostril is right there. I can still see the drawing a little bit. I do believe that's it. Let me just look at it closer. Yeah, this is it. I think that's it. All right, you know what I need to do? I need to get a black and white. No, that's not there. It's there. Is that really it? I buried it, man. Nostrils right in here. I'll just put a couple dots. That's going to be the nostril area. Okay. So as this beak goes into the feathers, and you can only imagine if he lost all his feathers, you could see the feathers trying to grow, and it's just little things, and then the super details of those little guys right there. It's just, they're incredible. The beak is just like, it looks like a strong plastic, right, or whatever. Okay, so now I want to take like I said, the next yellow is going to be right here. There's the bottom one that I didn't cut out, but that's all right. I'll get that little line. So that will be the next yellow. I have to do this carefully because I hate wasting the paint, but not enough to pour back in. And then I just spilled my little bit, and the X-Acto knife was laying in the puddle. Nothing like doing it live, right? Okay. Time to just switching over to the old t-shirts instead of just using up all the paper towels in the house for my artwork. Bounty can go into the kitchen. We were buying some cheaper brand paper towels for the house, but man, cheap is cheap, I'll tell you, man. It doesn't even wipe up anything. So, okay, so I need to hit right there. There. So I'm going to indicate the line right here with a couple of dots, again, just to keep it light. That's the top part of the shaping, and all comes with the different, yellows and stuff as we go. So I'm going to get the next color. They're very close. Maybe you wouldn't see it until the end that, oh, that looks a little brighter and that looks a little, somebody could just get one yellow and paint it and start shading it, and then maybe an orangey one for the dark. You could do it that way too, but okay, I'm gonna come in this way so you guys can see it. Get that little burr out of there and get volume on it. I could see the difference. It's brighter, It's a different kind of brightness. It's got when you second coat it, it will be more orangier. And then you got to dry it a little bit, And then that'll go down into I'm not even going to go by that bad area there. So while I got a chance, I'm going to try to use the aggressive eraser and pull a little bit of design in right here instead of the dowel. I'm going to go up right here. I don't want to take too much out, but it's a fatter design, so it just shows where some highlights are. So I'm removing the paint for highlight purposes. And there's not enough paint there because I don't have the dark color in yet. So, all right. What I think I'm going to do with this color is I'm going to go inside the nostril. I'm going to just kind of, just indicate it with this color for now. Just a little noise. It'll be dark. Okay, so that's that. Yeah. So we got that color there. Let's see what he looks like under there. Okay, that's going to work. I'm not going to need the shield for too long. I just want to make sure that I fire this in again to the right till it's the color I mixed. It would help if I put the air up a little bit, the volume. There we go. I had it too low. Okay. That, and up in here, I know probably because it's small, it's another yellow. And I was mixing off the big one. Like I said, I mean, you could go ahead and use one yellow, right? And you could paint a beak. You could just start painting the beak in with the one yellow and then create shapes, and then the next, transparent kind of painting. You can do stuff like that, and then go to your, you don't have to do every little color I'm trying to do. You could just kind of cheat a little, and it comes out a little bit more cartoonish, but this is just a way to paint, another way to paint. So you can do that very quickly and then just dust it in light, and there's a low light, highlight. Sorry guys, I had that off on the side. And yeah, so you can do things fast. This would be, let's see, the mouth would be in here. So you get, and then under, over. So you could do it with a couple of colors that you just whip together, but that's not the color of the real color of the beak. All right, let's go. Flash flooding in Brisbane. Oh man, a bit. Okay, so we have snow coming, New Jersey. I don't know how much. It's 3 to 6 inches or something. I don't know. My son has like 5 feet. He's in Rome, New York. Oh boy, I see a little bit of this color kind of trying to show up down there. So like I could just put it in, and the beak starts to take shape, but in reality, it's one more yellow in there. Then we'll get to the real fun. Once we put the real darker orange in, by the way, the mixture of that, if you look, you see my formula. It's just to help me when I run out or something, say I used orange, white, yellow, right out of the bottle. And the dots represent more orange, less white, less dots, right? Violet, oh, one touch of violet, because yellow, the opposite of yellow is violet. And if you want to start to gray the color and brown it, not brown it out, but take out the saturation, that's what that does. And then I started seeing that there was browns. So I added a little speckles of burnt sienna and burnt umber to make this orange. And that's how I came up with, I think it's a pretty good match. I think my eye saw it as maybe a smidge yellower or, whatever I'm talking about, but you got other colors interfering there, but it's the color, Okay, that's going, I'll take the stencil off and we'll try to work it where you could see this, that kind of thing going on. Okay. 1 inch would halt my town. Oh, that's funny. Yeah. Well, we used to be more snow country at different years, but this year in Tom's River area of New Jersey, nothing. I'm thankful. I don't need to be shoveling and all that stuff. Okay. So that same yellow though is going to go there underneath. So I'm going to flip this up. Okay, and I'm just going to kind of, if I can, see I can take this off without ripping it. Oh, this is great. This tape is great, guys. Now I can come in here and freehand in, or shield, a little shield here. Let's see. I'm going to get the little tiny French curve. This one has a little texture on it. Drew has so many cool, now I'll use the smooth one. He has some with textured edges. You might be able to see it on the big French curve. If you look real close, see that rough edge? That plays into your artwork when you need it. See that? But the other French curve is smooth. When you think about Drew putting, or anyone that's making stencils that are high tech, and everything Drew's making is going to be like his paintings, you know, it's going to be beautiful stuff. But when you think of him, he has to make the design one time, and then the laser cutter cuts them and cuts them and cuts them. But whether he's making, you know, stencils for eyes or eyelashes, he has to do all that and put it in. I don't know how he does it. And then when I get into some of the fine lines in this guy, I'll be using the hair stencil to put in very fine lines that are right there by my thumb. They're I don't know what they are. They might be the skeleton to the feather that's holding the, I don't even know what you would call it, but okay. So let's get the little guy, a little French curve here. Put them back over there. Keeps hitting the floor. Both of them. And then you roll over them. I rolled over my big photograph today. I'm in a rolling chair. And yeah, stuff that makes you go, ouch. Okay. So I am covering the little guys there. You got to protect them. They could end up showing up in your painting. But right now, I'm just going to dust in because I see right here. Okay, the line. So I need paint to be here. I'm going to leave the line. That's what separates the two. This one juts out a little further than the other one. I'm going to air dry that. They're the same exact color. They just get split by a very nice, fine, brownish line. That's a little bit of a shaded line. Okay. And each color, once it's laid down next to each other, like I could dust this in under here. Let's say I just go over the edge a little bit. Oh, no paint. All right. So I'm going to dust in, because the way I tested it on the side was this dark shadow here, you really can see a lot of the yellow through it. So I'm going to work with a transparent there. Okay, so let's see, we've got, second coat this again. You have to trust it. You have to trust, whoops, see now there's me missing. So small. You just have to trust your mixture. If you didn't make it right, it's not going to work. But I do need a dusting of this down here. I need some kind of yellow waiting for the shadow to be put in. But let's say I went over onto the beak right there. That color I didn't make for that part, right? So I could come in and there is a highlight right, I'm going to get a little bit more sharper on this point. So I'm just going to, because of the synthetic paper behaves so nicely, I'm going to just, Dave the Bug Gregory. Hello, sir. How you doing? So you could just come in here and the highlight starts inside on the beak. When I say the highlight, it's kind of like goes up and over like that. It's kind of like I'm not saying that no color's there. It's just I got to take it out right now because that's where the highlight is, okay? And then we've got some disturbance here. Take that right out. I don't want that color in there. There's a window of time that Createx has designed for the paint to be easier to erase. And it goes and works with the synthetic paper the best. Because I use strictly clayboard. And the clayboard is different. It goes on an opposite. It's like my erasing is better on the clayboard the next day, hours later, because it's too wet and it just doesn't want to, behave. Just going after that pencil line a little bit. Okay, so let's see what we got. We got a little bit of a beak starting there. All right, and at this point, we're going to let this come back down. And we're going to focus on the third yellow that goes right there. The third yellow, meaning the third mixture. There's not a great deal of difference, but you can see, hopefully on camera, you can see one's oranger. I mean, you would think that would look good for the shadow on the orange, but there's the difference right there. They're not, one is much lighter. I don't know if you guys can see that, or this had more orange in it and it's darker. Okay, so I'm going to take this one now. Again, it's harder because we're talking about a littler painting. If I was doing the beak the size of the 8 by, what is it, a 10 by 8 photograph over there. I just decided, been working small lately, and okay. So we're going to take the next one. All I'm doing is putting a drop of water just to get that little paint out of the throat of the airbrush. I call it the throat. the front end. Okay. Now I'm going to see, now I don't have the lid on there. It's like, which one's which? But you can see it. So this one here is, let's see, this is number 3. This is number 2. That goes away. Those paints will last next week. They'll be, especially with 4021 reducer, they just last so long now. It's incredible. Okay, a little bit of this. So what I just do, guys, with the side bottle is just pour a little bit in there. Boy, probably even too much, right? And then I make sure I test the color on the side. And now I'm going to fire in right in this area where all the texture starts happening. Except I have this for cleaning purposes way too much. Okay. So I'm just going to dust it in lightly at first. See the different yellow there? Now that's going to change because it's not 100%. But these different yellows all hitting each other are going to speak volumes in a little bit. They're going to just be really cool. Nostril. I'm just drawing in the nostril a little bit. It's making more of a mess with that than I need to. All right, so I think at this point I could probably move, because that's a bad cut, I'll just look for the shape. Maybe with this one, find that same shape. And I'm just going to move it out further and indicate a little bit of a highlight there. So now I'm going to take, oh yeah, that was that yellow and I forgot to put it in. So let me just go back to number 2. Paint by number, right? End results, though, I've never found a way to paint that gave me the satisfaction of, because the colors were not right. You know, they just weren't right. And it was close enough, but no cigar. You know, one of those things. It's like, why does that painting by somebody else look like breathtaking almost? Yeah, breathtaking if they did it right. And why? How did they do that? You know, that kind of thing. It's like, because there's science behind it. There's color theory, that this crazy color theory. Air dry, second coat. I hope you can see it. It's just a small spot I'm doing. Whoops. There it is. That's pretty much that color and that color. So where do I see this again? You know, I got to make sure. I could probably, this is supposed to have a little color under it. And so I could take this off now, because I can always put it back on, right? That's part of it. But I see a little where it got past the stencil, and I'm just going to remove it. Probably with an eraser would be better, but don't have to worry about, yeah, I'm like drawing, right? Just, it's wonderful. It's like color pencils or something. Okay, so now I'm going to take this color and I'm going to go, because it kind of, you spray the same color just lighter, you know, like up here it reappears. So we're just going to put it in. It's pretty orange. Whoops. Okay, air dry. I'm going to just take that right off of my finger there and then air dry it and dust it in again. That's right in the eye area, right in there. Okay. So a lot of things are going to happen around that. Cheating here a little with this yellow, but it's all right. All right. So now it's time to get the other. There is an edge, so we want to. If I can find it with the French curve, I'll use it. You know, because as long as I have the same shape, I can put that orange. That now I'm going to go to the real dark orange. I could put it in and find my way, you know, to the same shape. Okay, so hang in there and you'll see, remember there's white of the paper is all around it, so nothing really makes sense, with, especially with the opaque mixtures. Doesn't make any sense at first. Okay, so we want darker, we want the real dark one. It's got pretty much the same you know, what orange, W means white, and etc. But it's much more, as you can see, it's the one that's going to really give him that cool look that he has. Yeah, I think I definitely will get a new nozzle, and I could tell that it could go to one more finished level. Okay, so we have a little highlight. I gotta kind of nail this right there. It's really skinny. Whoops. I don't like working on that side of the phone there. I'm going to come in from this way. It's a little hard, but if I can get clear of the phone, then I can do this for you guys. Yeah, it's got a stronger hook down at the bottom, so I'm going to kind of just use the part of the stencil that maybe I need a little more bend on it there. Or maybe I won't find it. That seems closer. Okay. Get this. I might have to pull the phone out further at this point. Spraying mostly on the edge, mostly on the stencil. All right, I'm gonna unzoom it a little bit, and I'll go. Again, guys, I don't know how to work zoom on here, as you can see. So hopefully it's a better view. Somewhere, God, just gonna leave it. Sorry for getting you dizzy. But it is a free video, so if you don't like it, I'm sorry. No. Trying to build up, don't forget, if you like the video, to like it, actually, if you like it, and share it, and of course subscribe if you haven't. That way, I'm trying to do more things. I'm not doing things on Facebook too much, and I haven't done Facebook in a while because I've had nothing but garbage going on with the reception, or whatever you want to call it. It's just horrible. I had my videos actually kicked off, like, by Facebook. I'm not talking about kicked off like you're not allowed. Just unbelievable, poor reception. Voice was changing. Everything was going bonkers. Oops, flooded. Okay, so I have to make a decision what I want to do here. I'm surprised. I might have put too much 40. I'm just going to go in and stamp it out. That's going to be in the same spot. Yeah, I think I put too much reducer in that one. Again, you don't have to worry about, like, as if it was transparent and creating a hole in the painting or something. This will cover that. But I've got to be more careful because you'll see it just cover first I'll fill it in, but then it will catch up with itself. Again, you guys need to see it a little closer. What is this? I don't know how to do this. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to bring the phone in like I did the last time. Just move it in a little closer. Bring in. It's attached to my color correct lighting lamp, so that might be close enough. Let's see. They're going away now. Got to keep that. The drying thing going on there. Yeah, there's nothing really and truly darker. I am going to let the overspray go right on the edge. I don't care. I'm trying to hit that edge. And I'll just take the eraser, whoops, and clean it up. Got a little dent in there. We'll fix. Now they've got color on the outside. It's hard too when you're doing a video to get the precision that you want, because I'm working around the phone and all this stuff. Freehand. Taking my chances. Okay. Then the other yellows start making more sense because they're lit up. They're lit up. You can put more orange down here, so that will go underneath this one. And we'll just sculpt it a little bit. That's not the color it's going to be. It's going to get shaded. I could have cut out all the little shapes, but I'm just doing it this way because I like to make my life harder. Okay. You can start to see the intensity of it. It like takes time. Where else? We got a fine line going there. Okay, so this can almost be it's like an oval shape, but then it goes like that, just indicating it's going to be really dark. Right about here. Whoops. You know what? I'm going to try the dowel. So I have two dowels. I'll use the new one. It's funkier. Where was I? Right here. It goes right here. And right here. It kind of does a weird shape there. I got vertigo, Bill. Roy, hello there. I'm glad you popped on. I've tagged you a few times. I thought, I don't know, if you know I'm on, on here instead of being on Facebook with their terrible reception. Gotten probably over 100 new people on my YouTube channel because I switched over. And when people see consistency, like you popping on and stuff and doing more videos, they appreciate that and they pop on. Plus I do a little advertisement with a little video because I don't know how to do anything else yet. Eraser would be better in that place there. Here, let's see, where does this go? This goes right kind of to here. And there is some color. I'm going to push that. I don't want to put a dent in the paper. I'm just trying to be very light with it. Then there's another time you can erase too, and that would be later because it goes through a drying process. I'll probably cut open the nostril. I'll probably do that to get those sharper shapes. But right now, that's what I've got so far. It looks crazy because we don't have anything really going on. We don't have nothing else around it. So how have you been there, Roy? I'm just erasing where it kind of went outside of the shape. Just keep it clean there. Up here I still see a little orange that busted out. Okay, I still see that little missing piece, but I'm going to fix that later. All right, so I see, I don't like this oval here, so I'm going to kind of just take it, I don't care that this is this dark, and work it with the pencil, because I'm going to paint it, obviously, but I didn't like the shape, the original shape. Something like that. Oh, I gotta fix that. That's not, it's rounder. And this guy goes way over here like that. So that has more room to go rounder. Just trying to find the pupil there or whatever. Eagle vision. It's kind of a little round shape, and then it goes to a, and this is not how I draw, you know. In this position I would draw like with a clipboard or something on my lap or whatever. I don't draw perpendicular like this. This one looks pretty accurate. I'm just going to indicate it. My unorthodox way of doing things, whatever, you know. I can erase that and stuff too and get that to be. But I can make sure I like the shapes of those pupils, or I could, it's hard to cut them out for me because they're perfect shapes and don't lend themselves so greatly to that. So let's get a little bit more of the darkness on the around the bird a little bit, so he gets, you know, a little separation from the background again. All right, so we need a dark, much darker. Get a little braver. One thing I have a bad habit of is I was taught to remove the tip dry every 15 seconds, you know, go after it. And I don't even think about it half the time till it gives me problems. And then, you know, it's not good for the nozzle and all that stuff. It starts giving you garbage. So I have some green that I'm going to put in the airbrush. The response is really great, you know, on the airbrush, but I definitely think it needs a new needle and nozzle. Even because, you know, I didn't have him order the part. The guy that repaired it, I didn't have him wait to order parts. I can buy that, right? Okay, so we got the green now, and I've got the darker green. We're going to start getting a little stronger contrast going here. He's got a tumor. Comes off so easy. Okay, so let's put that there. Line it up and lower it a little bit, a smidge. That's pretty good. I could fan this out when I spray, just for a second. See, that's going to help. And that's much darker than what I'm doing now. Oops, I see offness here. Right there. It's off. Shifted on me. Okay, look at that. Up and over and in. Get rid of that pencil line too. Okay, here we go. I'm still going to keep it pretty light when it comes to the overall going around the bird, because this can get really dark. Okay, so let's take that off. Now you start to see him, like, it's just all white before. But like, let's say we want to, because you sure don't want to try to cut that out. That's kind of hard, that little feather shooting out there. But you can take the dowel, except I want my new dowel with the point. That's an old dowel that I have. Okay, here we go. I'm just going to push that out. Goes that way. There is a pencil line there. That'll get buried. So say I get too fat or something, then you could come. Whoops, you could come in and you could start working that. Now there's other little guys there too. So okay, guys, get dizzy again. Here we go. I'm gonna try that. Hey, a lighter touch. All right, I zoomed in. Okay, I'm real happy now. So this one, just push it a little bit. Maybe I'll go this way. Let's see. Yep. Press lighter and then harder, and you get the little dagger strokes. And that little stuff is hard to do when you can't do that on the clayboard. I know that much. These are really light ones. Just don't even press. There. They're like microscopic. Can't even really see them from where you are. You know? And then in here, we can bring the paint closer. So what's going to happen is there's going to be that two-tone thing going on. Let me see, what one is this? Okay, so I might as well work on the background. Okay, so out of focus background. I can do all kinds of things with it. I see the circular stuff, so I could put the lighter green in, kind of just put it in, you know. And from there, oh, I guess I thought I was spraying on test paper here. I was spraying on the real painting. And that's something. Okay, that's interesting. So I could show you another thing. Now this is not no intricate drawing there. It's just, you know, just like with the clayboard, you just come in with the Windex and you erase it and dry it with a dry one. And it's gone. That little ugly test spot. I thought I was spraying on a paper towel, a piece of paper, you know. And then I would just make sure it's dry, you know, just give it one of those. Okay, so now we've got, okay, so I'm afraid to unzoom. So we'll work on this side of the sky. So I'll just tilt the phone. Sophisticated cameras here on Imagine Airbrush with Bill or William Snagan on my Facebook account. Because they stole my account. Somebody hacked my account. And Facebook would not let me open under Bill Snagan again. So they made me go with another name. My name is William, but I never go by that except legal documents and things like that. And boy, I'll tell you, man, that was really not a good thing because I lost a lot of friends, you know, just horrible. I lost videos, pictures, things you can't get back. And the hack came from Instagram. I reported somebody on Instagram. I think I reported that I thought it was not a spam. I thought it was inappropriate. Like, I'm not going to say porn. It looked like it was going there. It probably was, but I just got punished because those people, whoever it was that I went and said to Facebook or Instagram, they somehow were already attached. They somehow hooked up to my Instagram account, which is hooked up to my Facebook account. And they ended up, their profile of one of the girls that was just, you know, on the page was there, like to say, gotcha. And I was like, hey, my profile on Facebook went away. It was a picture of artwork or something that I did. And there was this girl. And I was like, I mean, she wasn't nude or anything like that, but there she was. And I knew it was, and I had reported that I thought that it was inappropriate what they were showing, or they were really not cool, you know? And they got my account down. They ended up playing Facebook too, I think, and they got my driver's license. If you want it restored, you know, you gotta send us your drugs. My son said, "You don't do that. You don't give that Facebook." But it looked like Facebook was asking for it. So I gave a picture of my stupid license. Really got taken. So I lost the whole thing. And beautiful videos of my grandchildren that you can't get them back. Artwork I did years ago that you can't get back. So you just kind of just think of, what a camera does, bokeh, I think they call it, out of focus, blurry, shapes and things like that. By him, I'm going to kind of get that. I'm not going to go crazy with it. I like the really dark background. I didn't even mix this green. So this green is way darker. So I can still spray that green in later. I like a lot of it to be pretty dark. And then you just second coat over that other green. And you just kind of hide things and make it really nice. Okay. Yeah, I got punished bad. I had a video of me and my grandson, and he was in diapers dancing. I was playing the guitar like a little beat, a little bump, 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 one of those type of, chord progressions. And yeah, he was adorable because he started dancing. You know how the little ones are? He started boogieing, and I was like, it's gone. They got so much stuff I don't even know what I lost. But yep, and then all the stuff that happens, to people with theft, right, online, and your cards and everything else. So I got some cleanup to do here, like underspray, but you just wipe it off with it's gone, just like that. Then you got to clean the eraser. So let's back out a little bit again. Again, for anybody that just popped on, the new tape that I'm using is from Drew. I think he got it. I don't think it was in the States. I think he got it from a vendor. He loved it though. I guess people maybe send him things. I don't know. Or he tries things and he put it in his store. So I said, well, let me get a little roll. They have the bigger, like transfer tape, fatter rolls. I don't want to be without this now because it's so low tack. Sorry, guys. It's so low tack that, you can do things with it that you can't do with other tapes. It's not going to hurt nothing. You can cut through it very easily. But, so that's see how it smooths out, really, all the bumps and everything come out. So I left a little bit of this light and dark stuff up there for now. And I do see here that the brown feathers are going to go right there. So I got to make sure I don't kill that area. So in a case like that, whenever you've got darkness coming up into an area like this down here, I can start to get a little, I need a sharper point though. I can get dark. If you're going to put something very black next to a pencil line, it'll go away. That's for sure. It will definitely melt into, like when you do a black and white, I did black and white t-shirts, right? And all kinds of stuff like that. And yeah, you can use a light gray up to a line. As soon as you get near a certain line that doesn't, you can't, you don't want to see the line. That's what I'm trying to say. You got to get, I'm having trouble talking tonight. I don't know why. Probably because I'm walking and chewing gum at the same time, one of those deals. But yeah, if you got a dark line, like right over here, I'll put a line, let's see, right here. Okay, if you're drawing, say that's going to be black hair, and the hair is all out here. Well, you can put it in dark for your drawing because it's going to get buried. But when you got the eye, or let's say the nostril, let's just pretend we're doing a nostril over here, you got to get that so light on the nose right there and there. And then you got to not erase on a t-shirt. You're going to draw it lighter than that. But you gotta, then if you work your gray, black and white, remember, if you work your gray up to that, it'll go away. A good example would be, let me get a black and white painting. This is very critical when it comes to understanding. This is Betty Davis when she was a young actress in the screen in the days of, put it up here, in the days of, the screen. It's really not, this is Bristol board. So it's only going to get so good. It's very rough here. You can't fix it. I do have her on a t-shirt. You can see that on my Instagram page. It's gigantic. But as I was saying, you can draw the lashes in dark because you're going to go dark there. You can put whatever you need to see, as long up here, this is out of focus stuff. So you would want to really and truly, I'm going to lighten that up a little bit with some circular erasing. And that's where the super highlights are hitting. That's why I'm using the Drew Blair paper right now. I was trying everything. I mean, Bristol board doesn't work. Not for me. Because unless I'm using opaque paints, then you can do color shifts and all that and use white for not erasing. You can't erase on the Bristol board. Not smoothly. But yet I did, let's see, one more black and white. I did I had much better results with the Bristol board. This is India ink. That was my cat. His name was Mouse. Okay, so the curtains are all out of focus in the background and the blur, the fur all gathering. But, you're limited. Like with Drew's paper, you could come in and you could do the little whiskers, these little guys with the dowel. Not on this kind of paper, you can't. So everything was a little bit of this and a little bit of that. But wherever it was dark, like the black, I could draw it darker. But where I got out here, I had to go so light with the pencil so that when I put the gray in, then my pencil line, or I had to ghost the line. So that's where it is, but the line is so light that you really, you never see it. Out of focus fur. This one worked out well for being Bristol board. Boy, do I miss this cat. This cat was a loving, beautiful cat with one of those big plume tails. the kind of tail that just, when he runs by in the house, it's sticking up like he's going under a bridge with a boat. Okay, so we've got that going on. Have I tried dye bond, Bill? What is that? Is that a metal, or I'm not sure what that is. And I'm just looking at some of these comments, so I apologize for not, going back over them. Yeah, so 3 inches of snow would paralyze my town. So I'm just looking back on some of the things you guys have said. Okay. Alrighty. So, get that there. That's ugly. Okay. Yeah, so then, I'm just going to knock that back a little. It's ugly. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to carefully take this drawing later because there's going to be 2-3 parts, maybe, definitely 2 parts to the video. And I'm going to accurately, maybe cut out stencils for the pupil. They got to be dead on. They got to be dead on. Didn't I just say that? Yeah. So, like right here, you take the dowel, and this shoots out like that. Then you could probably get a little bit better of a point on it by pulling it. That's a little too long, but that's all right. You just spray over it and knock. That's actually, it's not too long. Looks pretty good there because there's one next to it right there. Now I know we're far away, so we'll try again with the zoom. So you get those little guys on the edge. So I'm trying to mimic that, at least to have the shapes waiting. And all these tools, this is all new to me, so I notice going faster works nice. Going fast like that. Yeah, I'm not used to this, trying to find out where one is. Maybe one's right there. That's the edge of the painting though. And there's one here. Now, I can't do that one because up above is my lamp, and the dowel was hitting the lamp. The lamp is very low, so we're not going to do that. And this orange is even stronger. I didn't spray it 100%. I wanted to find my shapes and stuff. I'm going very, very slow. If I had a little light color pencil, I do have this one. I might be able to just indicate right here what's going to split these two, giving him that mouth, that cool looking mouth thing. Shadows. Even though this line is a thin line, there's a shadow above it right there, and there's all kinds of cool texture. That's where this comes in. So being that I'm not going to get to the texture part, I wanted to show at least on a scrap piece of paper the new shield. I haven't really tried it yet myself to get in here and test it. So let me just get a piece of paper here. We'll put that right there. I'm going to use a little bit of this blue tape, purple tape, whatever we want to call it, just to keep that there. And we'll back out. Okay, so this will be to demonstrate the new stencil. So this is from, well, let's just spray a dark color through there. What I got in the gun? I think I have the green. Yeah. Let's see what happens. No paint. No paint. Actually, yeah, I'll use the green. I'm going to put a little more reducer in there. I got a lot of green, so it would be better to demonstrate it if you're doing fur with a... So just think of like the Grinch or somebody. He's furry. He's got, I painted him. He's up there. He's got some texture on him. The Jim Carrey movie. Okay. So let's see what we got here. So if you pin down the thing, you've got some very fine lines right there. Let's try it backwards and see if we can... Just want to show you how fine the lines are. So, oh my gosh, that's incredible. I don't know if you guys can see that. Somebody's got to tell me how to do this, guys. Now I can't even unzoom. What did I do wrong now? All right? Let's see. There. I better just leave it alone and bring the phone closer. Well, you did see my desk. I am trying to bring it back in. So, oh, it's signboard. I've used Alumilite. There we go. Sorry, guys. All right, so I'll just bring it in and let you see that. Look at that line. I can even bring it over once I spray a few more things. So let's try this now. First, I'll spray it 100% to just see what every little shape is on there. Dark. Okay. So if you look at the texture, and you think of the snout of the tiger, right? Let me hold that up there. That'll need light on it. And then you would come in freehand, whoops, and you would hide some areas. Like, you got a green tiger. Whatever, you know. But can you imagine using that, the time saver, where, say, the nose would be here. I'm just going to make a fake tiger nose for a minute. The eyes are back here, you know, that kind of stuff. But the whole thing is this texture, you know, back when I met Drew, everything he did had texture and unbelievable, but it was all done with erasing, and it took so long that, and then if you hold it off the surface, you get blurrier versions of it. Plus you need more paint in there. But that, along with the edges, okay, so when you buy a stencil, you're going to get other things besides just what, you know, it says all, the 5 skin texture stencil. That one, where is it? Right here. It's got 5 different skin textures on it. But it can be used for so many other things. Like, think of a sea turtle, you know. Let me get this. I don't know if you guys can see that. I'll bring it up to the camera because I'm not messing with the zoom anymore. Right there, look at that. And then imagine you start shading it. I can see a sea turtle right, oops, I can see the sea turtle right here. There's his eye. And then his mouth would be, I'm just doodling, you know, just to fool around, but you can kind of see what I'm doing there. It's just doodling and sketching and having fun. Little sea turtle. So if you're doing some kind of a project, right down to fine hairs, and I think that other stencil beat this one even. Oh boy, that's pretty fine. Hold on. I gotta clean that. That's got gunk on it. Okay. So let's go back to the original stencil, which was, where? The one with the texture. Where'd they put it? Oh, there it is. Okay. So you got edges. You can use you got curves that are there. You lift that up off the surface and you get a whole nother effect further off the surface. So you gotta learn, we have to learn to hide, the stencil that we're using. We don't want it to look like a stencil. We want the stencil to aid us and help us, you know, get the results we need. That's pretty fine. And voila, it goes on. You spray it lighter, you spray dark to light, and you get all kinds of effects. So the stencils are incredible, really valuable tool. I'm probably going to make a lot of this more darker. I'll stare at it during the week, and yeah, I'll get it to be where I want it to be. Right now, it's going in the direction that I want, but I have to look at it and stare at it and say, okay, I'm going much darker or whatever. There's no white on here yet. I don't really have to do this, but it'll be all little shades of subtle grays on his feathers that will come alive. And I'm just pulling that out more, seeing removing paint. I got this over on the eyebrow part. I'm calling it an eyebrow. That doesn't belong there. So just take that out. And just sculpting it, shaping it, and causing it to be, even that pencil line there, I could probably sand that off just by going over it lightly. Just to show a little bit more of where I have the mark there. But I love this paper. It's so great. I'm blocking, I'm sorry. Yeah, this just makes it crisper. And highlights are up here. Okay, I put it in the wrong spot before. There's that line. Oh, there it is. So it goes like that. And then it crosses over the top. I have to kind of come over here and scratch it, push it in right there. That's really in the picture. Getting a little too fat, but I can spray back around it. I'm not exactly used to using actually it is pretty fat there, so that worked out good. There's a highlight in here. I'm just going to scrumble along, make little circles, and pull some highlights into this area. Can use the eraser because it's not a lot of texture there. It's more softer. It'll be like, but right now it'll just wipe it right out. It won't be subtle erasing. It's starting to dry a little bit, but it's designed to have this working time, this window. So a little bit of highlights, slowly but surely. Really strong one here. Yeah, I gotta learn how to use this. I don't know yet. Okay, guys, so I'm trying. That's better. Highlight there. There's some highlight here. And I have to figure out the drying time on that's erasing nice and soft now. That's really there, so that's great. It's drying, so the time is changing on it. That's good. And then this is all highlight right here. Now the eraser's dirty, so I'm going to come in, go to a piece of copy paper. Okay, and then you're going to go Drew Blair, what about him? Let's see. A random guy for you to watch. Did you make these stencils? No, like he was saying, these stencils are purchased at Blair School of Realism. You go on his website, Blair School of Realism, and you'll find the store. And you can buy Color Theory in a box. You can buy Classrooms in a box, and they are everything. And the tools, the stencils and all the different things are, no, I don't have a laser cutter but I also don't have, I mean, the skill of the quality of these stencils are off the hook. Just look at his paintings, because he'll use these to do the most subtle little skinned, and I mean, you don't even know he used a stencil because it's not supposed to look like a stencil, right? It's supposed to be beautiful, soft. Now this is, speaking of soft, this is a soft eraser here. Just going to remove some of that, make some marks here, and get that highlight coming across the beak and work it. And there's some sharpness. There's going to be darks. Like if I was working with colored pencils, I could go right under there right now and put in an orangey brown, and you would see, you know, plus the dark shadow of feathers under there are going to make that come out. Once these get put in around the eyes and stuff, this beak will start to look more realistic. You know, right now, colors are pretty good. Definitely needs tightening up. But when you're doing a video too, it's like this, it's a live video. I don't mind, you know, like a mistake happens, because when I had my school, the kids learned more from watching me fix a mistake. It's like, oh, you're human. Of course, not me. Somebody like Drew. Drew has made mistakes, but you would never know it because he knows how to fix them. And that's what he teaches. That's what he taught me. That's what he teaches in his class. That it's just, as he said to me, it's just paint and paper or whatever you're using. And it can all be fixed, especially with the opaque paints. They can be fixed because they basically cover everything. What I mean by that is they're covering. They're a solid. They're not see-through. Transparents are see-through. Now I will use a transparent here, so let's try that. So I have to shadow it. I have an opaque for the eyes, and where did I put my transparent? Oh boy. I thought I made that color before. Just give me a second here. I'm trying to think. I know I made the eye color, and I have it in transparent. So like if you could see this color on the video, it's like a tan. It's like a, you know, the eyes are really beautiful. Okay, so I made that with the white. And I made that with different colors that got me to it. And this one, believe it or not, is the same color sprayed lightly. You would never think that. Well, if you spend that, looks like a shape of a horse jumping or something. Wow. If you spray the transparents are always going to look dark and wrong. You know, you can't. But if I put that in the airbrush and I spray it lightly, and I'll do that for you, you're going to get, let me get the green out. You're going to get that light color, but you don't know. So the way I found out today was I made the opaque color first. And then I said, what did I use? I used this brown. I used a lot of white. So because it's an airbrush, I don't have to worry about the white. You spray lightly. Now I'm going to put this in the gun. And you're going to get that creamy color because we can spray lightly with the airbrush. Just like if you took a dark pencil, color pencil, and you were doing a really dark area, brown, say. If you press lighter with the pencil, you're going to kind of get like we do with the airbrush, but we have the best, results. So there it is. I mean, who would think that very dark color? I don't know if you guys can see that. So let's kind of go after the eye shape. Okay, so if you look at the eagle up close, you're going to see that kind of a color going on. Lots of other things going on in there. But who would think that that's 100% just about, would do that? Well, because it's an airbrush, right? We can do that stuff. Boy, does this behave nice now. Let me put the air pressure up, and or the volume up, I should say, and see if I can do palm tree. Just like the old days, like t-shirt palm tree. Well, it ran out of paint. No, it didn't. But anyway, it's so nice to be able to have this baby up and running again. Like I said, I am going to get the action on here is so sensitive. It's so responsive. Soft spring, low rider trigger, and back off on the needle. No, I'm not the needle. The actual tension that the needle goes in, and yeah. So let's put a little more in there. So on the painting, now I don't know if this was the color, but I'm going to just use a little bit on this area. I'll turn the air way down again. There is going to be a nice shadow here. So once you start separating, I'm going to go slow with this part because I don't want to ruin it. I see we got marks on the painting right there. Wonder how maybe the thing I put in front of it. So what I have to do is I call it damage, right? In that yellow area, is I just got to come at it, and what I could do is I could take this stencil, Drew's tiger. I'm calling it the tiger stencil, and I could put a little texture in because it is this kind of color, right? Let me see. They're tight little guys, so I'll go this way, and we'll get into the tight section. I'm looking at the real picture, and I'm seeing a lot of little guys right here. There. They're in the picture, and I have to work that, but to be able to take this and get that kind of texture instantly and work it into the picture, of course I sprayed a little dark. That's a lot. I've got to get it focused. That's a lot of texture in there. It's very light, but it's that. But I sprayed it too dark for a sample there. Sorry. This arm. The phone is on a flexible arm. That's why it bounces. But I have some tape keeping it in place. So I was talking about, I'm going to continue on this next week, but I was talking to you guys about, when I was messing around with the green, the Grinch, and the other t-shirt with Betty Davis on it, which a lot of people have seen already, but I'll show you it anyway. I'm taking the phone out of its holder. Whoops, go this way. There we go. Okay, so now we can come in there and see that. I got a lot of work to do yet, but I'll be all right. I'll survive the night. Everything takes time to get it to be looking finished. Let's see, I gotta hold this. So there's my compressor. It's just sitting there. But Steve Leahy was talking about a manifold yesterday. Hey, it doesn't even let me do it. That's right, it doesn't let me do that. So we'll just go in close. That's four airbrushes. In my bin over there, I have an 8 manifold setup when you want multiple airbrushes. Now, I don't need that for t-shirts. There's some guns over there. And that's the other desk, So, and this is what I'm doing on the side. You swing outdoors. There's all the Drew Blair stencils in there. Lots of them. Then, so I got the micron going on there. And then I've got my t-shirt back here. Okay, that was from the jacket from the movie, the Grinch That Stole Christmas. I did it for myself. I didn't do it to sell it, because I didn't want to do that. I don't want to sell that, something like that. That's Jim Carrey, and it was for me, just to show as a demo. I did it as a demo, actually. There's they call it Snowy Mount Crumpet, where the Grinch lives, and kind of fantasy clouds and the ho-ho hat there and the fuzzies all around. So that's that. And I'll show you the other one. Whoops, I didn't mean to go fast. Yeah, there's that Mustang I shared the other day. That's just a t-shirt demo. This is my new paper. This is my other color correct light here. Hot light. Gotta get an hot light. Whoops, come on guys, get that in focus. There we go. There's the other sheet of paper. There's plenty of artwork that I've shown many times, I'm just working my way over to that one thing. So this is a t-shirt of the same painting I showed you before, but it's on a t-shirt instead of on that board. It looks like it got a little bit hit in the window with the sunlight because it was in the store, I think, but so much easier to do. No racing, right? You got to go for it on a t-shirt. So that was that one. And yeah, so the latest painting I have, besides what I just did, is, what was I doing? Oh, I got this damage here. See the jet? Now, because this is opaque paint, that's an easy fix. You have to use a thing called a correction color, which I don't teach color theory on here, but you just don't use pure white, okay? I'll put it that way. And then you just get this color and you just fog it back in, and I still didn't do the canopy, and that's it, the nice. But what I love about the airbrush is its softness, that we can, and then the color theory of making colors as accurate as you can get them, that's what I love. So the latest painting, he's not finished yet. Now that my Micron's working, I can go in and tackle him, lighten him up a little bit. I just shared the passion painting. I did that just for myself, practicing kind of thing. Just some things on the wall. The one I did at Drew Blair's school back in the 90s, my first portrait with him. And I was like, not knowing what I was doing. That one was, it's just matted. There's no glass on. It's kind of like but anyway, something. And then where I had my ugly wallpaper, anyway, wallpaper's like a plastic almost. You can get paint on it. There's the other black and white on clayboard. Fortunate. You're alive. What happened? I don't get it. Why is it saying I'm live? Guys, did I go offline for a minute? Just showing some of the YouTube people. Terry Hill, the famous Terry Hill. I was in his class down there in Lakewood, New Jersey one time. He was great. He passed on us COVID, I think. I think he had COVID. I painted that, but that's a photograph of my painting. So a selfie of a cat. And then you just see the rest of it just on the wall. They're just jets and things like that. Fred Flintstone. Heat distortion. I like jets. Drew painted a lot of jets. Oh yeah, there's that. Aurora. That's one of the late. I am going to hit that still with a little lighter blues just to enhance it more. And this pooch here. Of course, that's a photograph of the pooch. That was a commission job. So anyway, yeah, I forget what my last painting was. Yeah, we have the volcano up in there. It's not finished yet. Okay, I like to ink the little cartoon characters. There's the old, whoops. What do you got? The honeymooners in a cartoon form. Not my originals. I was just drawing them just to ink them in. But the color is what you want to get down, and then from there you can start working on your skills. Unfinished paintings. Unfinished. That one has some damage on it. I was doing that on YouTube, guys, and I gotta find a way to fix it. I'm sorry, but got to be honest with you too. When you're watching a human being, and things go wrong. So there's the arm that you see. Move that out of the way, and there's my color correct light with a magnifier, and yeah, you can see I'm definitely going darker with the green. I'm definitely gonna copy more of that because I don't like that now. But all I do is make it darker. That's all. So thanks for hanging out with me tonight. And like I said, if you enjoy the video, jump on board. The more people that subscribe, the more the channel will grow. I guess my goal is I don't make money from YouTube. I don't have enough, I guess, people or whatever. I'm getting there. I've got 20, almost 24. It could be 24 now, tonight, because it was like 2394, 93. So it's almost 22,400 people that are subscribed. And who knows about the old subscribers? They might not even, who knows how many people are really active. But anyway, that's my setup. There's my tote. I'm just giving a little tour again for the people on. There is a tour actually I showed on whatchamacallit, Facebook. There's one more thing I want to show you. I use copyright-free images. Now this was, of course, my niece took that picture of her own cat. But these images you can get on free websites. You can pay, like iStock. You can pay $29 a month, or one of those. You can pay for Unsplash, or you can also just use Unsplash, the images that aren't locked, and maybe mention them. They would appreciate you to mention their name on a social media. But I've got so many great things. This was a car I used to have, Mach 1 with a white hood scoop. But I got images. There's the, look at that texture. That's what that skin texture can do for you. Anyway, I've got so many great projects, but not enough time to get to them. So thanks for hanging out. I will see you guys on next week, hopefully. I'm trying to do them weekly, so don't get all frazzled if you say, oh man, he's not on this week, or I take 2 weeks off or something. I'll do some uploads too. So for anybody that is on the lives only, don't forget to go to the main uploaded videos. There's a lot of things there from over the years, and there's all kinds of stuff, how I painted the cars and what have you. And I'll say good night now, and everybody be well, be safe. And there's him peeking over the top. Good night, and God bless you guys, and see you maybe next week, okay? Most likely. Take care. I'll check out the rest of the video comments in a little bit. Thank you, random guy, for you to watch. Thank you for the nice compliment. Yeah, Micron. I'm sorry, I'm still on, guys. Here. Oh, yeah, the 005. Oh man, that is like microscopic, right? Volcano. All these nice comments because I was taking the phone and walking around. Actually, I can't see these comments like on Facebook later, so I'm looking at them now. Okay. I'll see you guys. Thanks again. Good night.